Good day, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. We are going to be looking at my favorite sci fi horror thrillers for the Halloween season, which is coming up soon. Just over a month from the recording of this, anyways. This list is in no particular order, and I'm only listing movies that I've actually saw. I mean, there's no point in recommending movies that I actually haven't seen yet, right? So just keep that in mind. I'm keeping this a shorter video, around 31 movies or so. We don't want this video to get too long either, and we're going to try and get to the point, and not drag things out. But I know there's many other movies out there that are in the sci-fi horror thriller. So if you have one that you'd like to recommend to us, put it in the comment section. That'd be awesome. I love reviewing stuff, and especially stuff recommended by all yous. So, and don't forget to click the subscribe button. Just simply because you love us, right? Like, come on, hit that subscribe button. I'll wait. I'll wait for you. We will wait for you.
Yep.
Aw, thanks. You're so awesome. All right, let's get into these movies. So the first movie is The Blob, 1988. And the plot of it is a deadly entity from space crashes near a small town and begins consuming everyone in its path. Panic ensues, and a shady government scientists try to contain the horrific creature. Now, I've seen this probably around when it came out as a kid. I was probably around 11-ish years old. It scared the crap out of me. It did. I mean, not so much. I don't think like now. Like it didn't like leave me, you know,
Yeah.
these like panic thing of anything blobby. But it did kind of scare me as a kid. Yeah. And Jessica probably hasn't seen a lot of these, so
I have not seen The Blob.
not the
I've
blob.
heard of it,
Yeah.
so I'm aware of what it is,
Okay.
but haven't watched it. So.
All right. Well, the next one is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. When strange seeds drift to Earth from space, mysterious pods begin to grow and invade San Francisco, California, where they replicate the residents into emotionless automatons, one body at a time. I also watched this as a kid, not when it first came out. I was just born when that came out, so I was going gaga goo goo. But um, when I did probably saw it in the late '80s, kind of thing, and it was a pretty cool movie. I really enjoyed it, and I've watched it since, like probably like 10 years ago or so.
Okay.
It still holds up pretty good. You get a kind of creepy thing at the ending. So I'm gonna not try to
Okay.
spoil too much
No.
stuff, but yeah, it's a good movie though. I mean, obviously these are all pretty good, but
Yeah.
it was a good movie.
Again, haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I don't think I even heard of it,
Okay.
but after hearing the context, like it's definitely a movie I'd
Yeah,
give a
it's
try.
basically these seed pods are replicating people, and the people are vanishing. The real people are
Okay.
vanishing, and these pod people are taking over. And they have no emotions, no nothing, and like it's the whole city's being taken over.
Is there a purpose behind them
I think it's just I
replicating?
I assume it's just a thing of that's how they breed,
Okay.
but I it's been a while since I've watched it, so I'm not sure. Cool. All right, the next one, The Butterfly Effect, 2004. Evan Treborn suffers blackouts during significant events of his life. As he grows up, he finds a way to remember these lost memories and a supernatural way to alter his life by reading his journal. So when I first watched this, I enjoyed it. It was like it's kind of like a time travel kind of thing, and
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of going into his past life, like his past life, like younger life and stuff. It kind of reminds me of Quantum Leap actually, where he time travels within his own lifetime, except this guy can control it by reading his
Mm-hmm.
journal, and then he goes into that specific point in his life to try and correct what went wrong,
Okay.
but it usually ended up being for the worse.
Right.
Yeah. So, did you end up watching that movie?
I feel like I've watched it
Yeah.
when I was a kid, so I mean it's been a
Okay.
good 12, 13 years, if not more.
Right.
So I would definitely give it another try.
I think you'd like it. Yeah. It's not like horrific or anything. It's one of those movies that make you
It
think.
makes you
Like,
think. That's what I hear is that you need to dedicate that time to this movie.
yeah, yeah, and you need to watch it a couple times actually to get the full effect.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next video we have on here is Cube, 1997. Six complete strangers with a widely variety of personalities are involuntarily placed in an endless maze containing deadly traps. Now, if you like the Saw films, you will love this one. This is basically Saw about
Okay.
8 years earlier.
All right.
Yeah, with different traps in this cube maze and stuff like that, and you have a bunch of people that are trying to make it out and
Right
stuff
on.
like that. So if you like Saw, you probably somewhat like Cube.
I definitely enjoy the Saw movies.
Yeah,
They did really well, so.
yeah. So definitely a cool one. Next one, Deadly Friend, 1986. After his friend is killed by her abusive father, the new kid in town attempts to save her by implanting a robotic microchip into her brain. I loved this movie when I was a kid, and it still even holds up now. I mean, maybe some not the special effects per se, but the actual story in that really holds up. And there's a lot of sad parts, especially towards the ending and stuff like that. But it was really some of it kind of freaked me out too. There were some parts of the movie which freaked me out as a kid. So yeah, it's definitely one of those movies where
Yeah, I think we actually watched it together.
I think
I'm
so.
pretty sure that's how I was introduced to it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, really good movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It
like
was cool. It was cool. All right, so the next movie is Event Horizon, 1997. A rescue crew investigates a spaceship that's disappeared into a black hole and has now returned with someone or something new on board. This one I watched in the theater, I think 4 or 5 times because I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't when it first came out, but now it has like a cult following.
Okay.
Basically, the ship's gone for 7 years through a black hole. They're trying to do faster than light travel,
Mhm.
and then it comes back 7 years later, and they go investigate. And basically, basically a haunted house on a spaceship. Yeah, and it does get very gruesome. A lot of blood and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and there's a few good parts for sure that kind of make you go like cringe, like not a cringe, but like oh my god, what's gonna
Yeah.
happen? Like
Okay.
yeah, so
That sounds really cool.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a good movie for sure. Um, Next movie is a part one and part two, but The Fly, 1986. A brilliant but erratic scientist begins to transform into a giant man-fly hybrid after one of his experiments goes horribly wrong. So yeah, this is a remake from I think 1956, The Fly, and basically this guy meets someone, and then he's making a teleportation pods. That's what he's
Okay.
doing, and then he decides he's fed up. He wants to see if it works, and he tries, and there's a fly in the machine, and it puts them together. And when it comes out the other side, but it doesn't. The effect isn't right away. He still looks human, but he
Okay.
eventually slowly becomes a fly. It's pretty gross in a lot of scenes where his teeth start coming out, his fingernails start coming out, even his junk falls off.
Ooh,
Yeah, poor guy.
pretty gory movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty gory. Um, really good movie though. Definitely a must watch. Um, yeah, and then you have The Fly Part 2, 1989, which he has a son. He had gotten someone pregnant, and so the almost human son of Brundlefly, which is what he calls himself,
Okay.
searches for a cure to his mutated genes while being monitored by a nefarious corporation that wishes to continue his father's experiments. So he rapidly ages, So like by 5 years old, he looks like he's 20.
Yeah.
And there's it's not as gory as the first one, but there is some gore in it, and there's some sad parts in it, especially this one. Again, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it has something to do with a doggy.
Oh.
Yeah, and yeah, I got sad on that one, but he's basically trying to find a way to become fully human again. That's the whole point of the story. So, yeah, really good movies. I definitely recommend watching them back to back, and yeah, it's cool.
Good.
Yeah. Ghosts of Mars is the next one from 2001. So in 2176, a Martian police unit is sent to pick up a highly dangerous criminal at a remote mining post. And upon arrival, the cops find that the post has become a charnel house. So basically, you're looking at kind of like intelligent zombies on Mars.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that have weapons and like throw these things at you and chop heads off, and it's kind of gory, um, but it's a cool movie. It. I think it has oh man, Ice Cube in it.
Okay.
The rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has him in it. I believe that's who's in it. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's a good. I mean, they're not exactly zombies. Like they're not mindless zombies kind of thing. They're
No.
ghosts. I mean,
They're
there's ghosts
ghosts.
possessing people,
Mhm.
and sometimes they act zombish like, but they're intelligent and they basically want people off their planet.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds really cool.
yeah, it's really cool for sure. Next movie is one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies, and you might be able to guess it, but Alien from 1979. And after a space merchant vessel receives an unknown transmission as a distress call, one of the crew is attacked by a mysterious life form, and they soon realize that its life cycle has merely begun. Ooh. So yeah, Alien, the first one from 1979. One of my favorites of all time. I watched it. I think I watched Aliens first though, but then I watched Alien not too long after that, and I just yeah, it's almost like a perfect sci-fi horror movie. That's the way I put it. It's creepy, spooky.
Mhm.
The music, the alien, just the whole just works great. And as some of you know, I play a lot of Alien Isolation because it's just like being back aboard the Alien 1979
Mhm.
movie. So yeah,
I know. I'm a big fan too.
yeah,
I've watched most of the Alien franchise.
yeah.
I think I've missed a couple episodes. Um,
That was Brundlefly.
you see that, right? Um, yeah, I think I've missed a couple of the movies,
Yeah.
like the more recent ones.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah. So definitely a good movie to watch anytime, really.
yeah.
The next one is Aliens, the sequel from 1986. 57 years later, after surviving an attack aboard her space vessel by merciless space creatures, Officer Ripley awakens from hypersleep and tries to warn anyone who will listen to her about the predators. Not predator, but
No.
the aliens, right? So again, another great movie, and this one was more action packed than the last
Mm.
one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but really, really good. There's some good audiobooks like River of Pain you can listen to on YouTube or whatever, and it's like just before Ripley and the Colonel Marines
Yeah.
get to Hadley's Hope. It's like
Okay.
how the aliens did what they did and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that's
It's
really
really a
cool.
good audio novel actually. Uh, I really recommend listening to that audio novel and then rewatch
Mhm.
Aliens again. It's awesome. So yeah,
Um.
Aliens definitely
Mhm.
definitely a good movie.
Um. Ripley is like a total kick-ass
Yeah,
character.
yeah,
I think she brings like a lot of hope to women that would watch the Aliens franchise.
for sure, for sure. A lot of time they say there's not a lot of female heroes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but Ripley
I
definitely
give
is
it to
one of
her.
them. Yeah, Ripley's definitely one for sure. Next one, Hellraiser from 1987. A woman discovers a newly resurrected, partially formed body of her brother-in-law. She starts killing for him to revitalize his body so he can escape the demonic beings that are pursuing him after he escaped their sadistic underworld. This is one of those movies that it's a cult following.
Mm-hmm.
It's either you'll like it or you won't like it. Like there's no in between really. I don't think, anyways. This is where there's Pinhead, which is one of the horror movie villains that you can know and stuff. But basically, it's all about a puzzle box, and then opening up the puzzle box lets the demons out,
Okay.
and they like to hurt you, but they they think it's pleasure,
Okay.
the pain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their whole kind of thing when it comes to that. I didn't like it when I first watched it. Um, I ended up watching it later, years later, and it wasn't too bad. Some of the movies, like there's a lot of sequels. I think there's 8 or 9 or something like
Oh
that.
wow.
Yeah. Some of them are just awful, but the first and second one is pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Holoman is next. 2000. A brilliant scientist discovery renders him invisible, but transforms him into an open om, om, wow, I can't even read tonight. Omnipotent, dangerous, mega. Oh my goodness. You know what?
Mega.
He has a big ego.
Yeah. There we
Okay,
go.
he has a big ego. Yeah, it's a good movie for sure. It's not like The Invisible Man from like the 1930s. It's definitely a nice remake, um, but creepier for sure. For sure. Yeah. I don't know why I can't pronounce some of these things tonight,
I know
but
I'm looking at these words and they're
yeah,
pretty complicated.
yeah. So we'll go a little bit simpler
Yeah.
at times. Anyways, the next movie, and I know some of you are gonna groan at this, okay, but I enjoy this movie. It's like a guilty pleasure. Jason X from 2001. Plot: Jason Voorhees returns with a new look, a new machete, and his same murderous attitude as he's waking on a spaceship in the 25th century. I I like the beginning. I like the kills. I think some of them are just pretty awesome. And then you have Uber Jason towards the ending, and he just looks awesome. I know a lot of people. It's like, wow, Jason in space, really, really, Hugh? Are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. I like it. It's a guilty pleasure. I'll watch it as a standalone Jason film, just because.
Oh yeah, for sure. After watching all of his movies,
Mm-hmm.
like I'll say the same thing. Jason X, they did a really good job.
Yeah, I
I
think
like
they
it.
did. I think they did. There's a lot of people that don't like it though,
Mhm.
and that's cool. We don't all have to like the same thing.
I mean, I could see their point of view. They
Well, I think a lot of them just.
changed.
I think a lot of them that just think it's ridiculous. He's in space.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
Yeah,
like when his main target is the camp,
yeah.
right?
Like
And
so, but just having it's usually when when directors have put a villain in space, it's usually the death of the franchise. Like the Leprechaun in space,
yeah,
Hellraiser, Pinhead in space, Jason X in space. You know it's going downhill when they start doing in space things.
yeah.
But again, it was a guilty pleasure. I like it, and there's nothing you can do about
I'd
it.
watch it again.
All right. Next one is one that I haven't seen in a long time. So I don't remember too much about it, but Killer Clowns from Outer Space from 1988. Aliens who look like clowns come from outer space and terrorize a small town.
Well, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. See, I got this from the IMDb
IMDb.
yeah site. So it's not like I wrote this
No,
out.
this is what they're
It's
saying.
what they're saying, yeah. But basically, killer clowns come from outer space, title of the movie, and they start killing people, which is why they're killer clowns. And it's kind of ridiculous, but again, it has a cult following,
Yeah.
and it's It's one of those movies that you need to be in the mood for, but it's kind of fun.
Okay.
It's kind of a fun ride.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm trusting you. I haven't seen it.
That's all right. I won't make you watch that one. All right, the next one is two parts, but Phantasm, 1979. A teenage boy and his friend face off against a mysterious grave robber, only known as the Tall Man, who employs a lethal arsenal of unearthly weapons. So, if anyone has even seen this movie, I mean, it doesn't hold up too great to this day, but the plot kind of is kind of cool. Basically, you have this tall man, and he has like these little silver balls that will dig into you, drill into your brain, things like that, and yeah, it gives him, I guess, powers, and it's like later on you find out that there's like portals to another world, and it's kind of gets a little weird, but it's good and creepy too. It's a good creepy movie. And so is the next movie, which is Phantasm 2 from 1988. Mike, that's now released from the psychiatric hospital, meets with Reggie and discovers that his dreams, the events from the original film, are real, and they both journey to find and stop the evil tall man from his grim work. So basically, it's just a continuation from Phantasm. Same thing, they're going after the tall man. Tall man's coming after them.
All right.
There's killing. A lot of silver balls drilling into your head,
Right.
or cutting you,
cool.
things like that. Yeah, so it's good. Like I said, it doesn't hold up too much to nowadays. But if you want one of those older movies and check some of those older movies out, that's one to watch for sure. I enjoyed it. We come to the next movies, which is Predator from 1987. A team of commandos on a mission in Central America jungle find themselves hunted by an extraterrestrial warrior. I really liked Predator. I just rewatched it within the last year, and it holds up for sure still.
I love the Predator movies.
Yeah, they did a really good job, and then going to the next movie, Predator 2 from 1990, the Predator returns to Earth, this time to stake a claim on the war-torn streets of Los Angeles. So, yeah, I mean, you have the first one that has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and then you have the second one with his last name's Glover. John Glover? We'll say John Glover. Glover. We'll just say Glover. Mr. Glover. Yeah, he's in it, and there's actually quite a few people from other movies, other horror movies that are in it in part 2, anyways. Yeah, I mean, just really awesome, and then you see in the Predator 2 ship later on that he has an alien skeleton in there.
I know, that was like really intense.
Yeah, so that was really cool. So yeah, definitely a must watch for sure, especially if you like aliens too, aliens and stuff like that. Definitely a good movie. The next movie we have is the Re-Animator from 1985. After an odd new medical student arrives on campus, a dedicated local and his girlfriend become involved in a bizarre experiment centering around the reanimation of dead tissue. So you're looking at kind of like a Frankenstein kind of deal. Yeah, it's good. It has what's that character's name from Star Trek? Shran. Shran is the blue Andorian. He's the main person in this.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jeffrey Combs, his name is. Yeah. He's in this, and he's the main guy in it. And
cool.
yeah, it's a good movie. Definitely good. Kind of holds up to now. Maybe not special effects either, but the plot definitely holds up, and it's really good.
Right on.
Yeah. Next one is Resident Evil 2002. A special military unit fights a powerful, out-of-control supercomputer and hundreds of scientists who have mutated into flesh-eating creatures after a laboratory accident. You ever watch it?
don't know. Like the title
Mm-hmm.
sounds familiar, so I may have.
Yeah.
Just don't know how long.
They go underground, and there's a secret. There's like this supercomputer that has locked everyone in, and they have to go in and try and it's called the T virus that they have to try and find, and then they have to try and lock the city. But when they do, all the people that got infected are zombies, and
Yeah, I feel like I watched it,
no,
but
okay,
like a while
yeah.
back.
So yeah, I mean that's a good movie. It also has quite a few sequels to it.
Mm.
Um, I only think I only watched the first two, mind you. So I wouldn't actually mind having like a doing a whole weekend of Resident Evil at some point.
That would be
Just
cool.
yeah, just to see what it was like. But yeah, definitely something to watch for sure. Next movie, Return of the Living Dead, 1985. Um, when two bumbling employees at a medical supply warehouse accidentally release a deadly gas into the air, the vapors cause the dead to rise again as zombies. And this is where you get brains
Yeah.
and stuff like that. They want brains because brains makes them less painful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good horror comedy even too. There's like comedic parts in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I watched it as a kid and kind of grossed me out a bit at certain points, but I wasn't like scared. It was like kind of some parts were pretty funny.
Yeah, I feel like I've watched it like recently enough.
Yeah.
Just because like I've gone through the whole Walking Dead thing, so it's like zombies. It's not really a scary thing per se, but I agree that there's like some comedic
Yeah.
parts thrown in there.
So the next movie we're going to recommend is Species from 1995. A group of scientists try to track down and trap a killer alien seductress before she successfully mates with a human. Yeah,
Have I seen that?
Natasha Henstridge, I think her name is. Basically, they get humans get a transmission from outer space of the genetic code, and they make this genetic code, and it looks human, but basically an alien. And her thing is she wants to breed and breed bad. Yeah.
I feel like I've watched
They have like I think 4 movies of Species because she breeds.
it. I feel like I've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been a bit that I've seen it, but I liked it, and yeah, it was a good movie.
Definitely a good movie.
It was a good movie for sure. Some action in it and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely watch that one. Another movie, They Live from 1988. And the plot is they influence our decisions without us knowing it. They numb our senses without feeling it. They control our lives without us realizing it. They live. Basically, you're basically aliens have come down and are brainwashing us.
Okay.
And the only way is this guy has these sunglasses that reveals that they're aliens.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's actually a really good movie. I watched it when it came out and it gets you thinking. Especially even nowadays where you have so much ads and stuff like that and it's like are people brainwashing us? Like I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but you know, it holds true to this day at some points too. So it's definitely a good movie to watch. Give it a shot. They Live, 1988. Yeah. The next one, probably a lot of people have watched this, but The Thing from 1982. A research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. So I never watched this, or I don't remember watching it as a kid. I only watched this about a year ago, like literally a year ago, and I don't know why I waited so long. It was a really good movie, as I think Kurt Russell in it. Um, really, really good.
That
Yeah,
sounds good. I don't think I've watched it though.
yeah. It's basically the creature will kill someone and then take the shape of that person and will pretend to be that person.
Okay.
And then and then when everyone goes in their own different ways and comes back, who's the alien? And they don't know. And then they start turning on each other, shooting each other, and things like that. So really good movie. Definitely a must watch. I don't know why I waited so long to watch it, but I did, and I kind of regret it. So don't you wait. Go watch that one. Yeah. All right. Next one. We're almost done. All right. Another 6. All right. So next one is Tremors from 1990. Native to a small isolated town, defend themselves against strange underground creatures which are killing them one by one. So I don't know if you ever watched Tremors.
I have not watched it. I've heard of it.
Yeah, these big worm things,
Yeah.
like huge worm things in the ground that eat people.
Yeah, like just hearing the title, I could see like the cover
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I believe I watched it in the theater, and you know, it's not a scary movie per se, but it's definitely like,
It's
dang.
disturbing.
Yeah, maybe disturbing. Yeah, but it was a good movie, and I think they're on like movie 5 or 6 or something like that.
Doing good.
Yeah, I know they at least have 4 movies, but I think there's a 5th for sure.
Okay.
Pretty sure. So definitely a must watch, at least the first one.
Yeah.
Next one, Underworld from 2003. Celine, a vampire warrior, is entrenched in a conflict between vampires and werewolves while falling in love with Michael, a human who is sought by werewolves for unknown reasons. So I believe we watched this together.
Recently, and
yeah, and
just
I had
like
watched
you
this.
had just said about the movie that you waited so long to watch.
Yeah.
And you don't know why.
Yeah.
Like I was in love with the Underworld.
Yeah.
When we watched it.
Yeah, definitely a good movie. There's I think 3 or 4 movies in the series.
Yeah, I don't think we watched all 3.
I think I watched the second one.
Yeah.
But not all of them. But Underworld was a pretty good movie. If you like vampire werewolf stuff, a lot of action, then you won't be disappointed.
Mm-mm.
And they don't sparkle.
No, they're not Twilight vampires. Good.
All right. That's awesome. Next one, Village of the Damned from 1995. This is the remake. A small town's women give birth to unfriendly alien children posing as humans.
Scary.
So basically, the whole thing is the small town, everyone's going on with their life, and all of a sudden everyone faints. Everyone in the town faints. And when they wake up, nothing's really happened, they go on with their lives. But then everyone finds out that all the females are pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they all give birth, eventually around the same time. And all of them have like white hair and stuff like that, and they control stuff with their minds and do naughty stuff, like bad stuff.
Yeah.
If you treat them bad, they'll like punish you, things like that. So it's kind of a creepy movie.
Creepy.
Yeah, I think you'd probably like it though, but it's kind of creepy. Next movie is a newer movie, A Quiet Place from 2018. In a post-apocalyptic world, a family is forced to live in silence while hiding from monsters with ultra-sensitive hearing. I didn't think I was going to like this movie.
Yeah, me neither.
But I really enjoyed it, and then there's supposed to be a part 2 coming out next year, and
I'm super excited.
I am excited about it.
They did amazing with that movie.
Yeah, so basically they have to be quiet, and one of the women that's there is about to give birth. So try giving birth quietly. Yeah, that tells you something anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, so it has aliens that are trying to kill people. And
Yep.
some of it's sad, some of it is not so much like, you don't really see too much gore or nothing like that.
No.
So, but some of it's kind of sad. So, be prepared for that. Yeah. Next one, Blade, 1998. Half vampire, half mortal man becomes a protector of the mortal race while slaying evil vampires. Wesley Snipes. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all three of the movies, but the first one is the best. I'm not sure if you watched
I
it.
don't think I've watched the Blade movies.
I think you would like it. I
Okay.
just rewatched it with Braden like 6 months ago, the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
I don't know.
rewatching it again
I'm
though.
a huge fan of vampire movies.
Yeah. Well,
So,
his mom, while pregnant with him, got bitten by a vampire.
okay.
So he turns out to be half mortal,
Mm-hmm.
half vampire, but hates vampires. So he kills them with his strength and his healing abilities and stuff like
Okay.
that.
That's cool.
And he's trying to be human. He's taking like a serum of garlic to try and make
Okay.
himself more human. So, and then he meets someone and tries to protect her and stuff like that. So, all of them are pretty good, but
Yeah.
the first one is really awesome.
Okay. Gotta watch it.
The next one, the last one, is The Faculty, 1998. When Casey Connor, a high school newspaper photographer, witnesses the murder of a nurse and sees her alive again, he decides to investigate the bizarre happenings.
Hmm.
It's been a while since I've watched it. I think it's something like a people being like Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
Yeah.
people being replaced and stuff like that. I think I watched it when it first came out, which so that's like over 20 years ago. So, but I remember it being a really good movie.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it'd be something that you'd probably like too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's our list. I hope you enjoyed that. How many have you seen though? Let me know. I think there was 31 movies here, so let me know what you've seen. Let me know in the comments, and also don't forget to write in the comments your recommendations for either your favorite sci-fi horror thrillers, or maybe any movie, especially for around the Halloween season.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen all the basic ones like horror movies, but feel free to put them down in the comment section. And if you really like this video, like the video. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe because, again, you love us, right? Please, we love you. Anyways, thanks for watching. You take care and have a excellent day. And I hope you have a great Halloween. All right, bye.